Hey second grade, you guys are ready to go ahead and start the next step of your cat or dog. Last time you saw your project, it was this gray, dry color. This is called greenware. If I put this in water, it would turn back into muddy, messy clay. But your project has been fired in the kiln one time, and so now when you see it, it's going to be this bright white color. This is called bisqueware, and bisqueware is permanent, so it won't dissolve if it gets wet, and that makes it so much stronger. Your magic number will be on the back of your project, so please make sure you found your project and not a friend's. And what you want to do today is you're going to use oil pastel to cover your dog. We are not going to use glaze for this project. What happens when we do this way of decorating our ceramics projects is you get to use your pastels to color any color that you want. And next time, what we'll do is we'll paint with paint on top of your pastel, and it will work kind of like a resist. You guys have learned about resist with watercolors, and this is the same idea. Where I see pastel is going to stay pretty much the same color, but where I see texture and where my pastel can't get to, that's going to be where the paint's going to stick. And that's going to give this really cool effect. It's not going to be shiny, but the cool thing is we don't have to put it back into the kiln, and it will be ready for us to take home a lot sooner and a lot faster. So let's talk about how you are going to get this to happen today. You're going to use the skinny oil pastels. They're in the pink containers along the counter, and you can use any color pastel that you want. We've got quite the rainbow. If you wanted, you could make your puppy or kitty very normal looking and stick with more neutral colors. But if you want to have a purple puppy, you are free to go ahead and use a purple puppy. Just be thinking about what parts of your animal you want to do which colors. I think I'm going to go ahead and have my puppy be kind of like my dog Pip. So Pip has some tan ears, so I found kind of like a peach color. Pip also has some like lighter brown colored spots, so I found this really nice tan that's a little bit different. But there's so many different neutral colors in here. If you just look, you can definitely find a really good assortment. Pink nose for Pip, and I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna do some dark brown eyes. Sometimes it might be a little bit tricky to find the pastel that you're looking for. Just remember, the wrappers don't tell you the color. You really have to look on the end. If you can't find a color, you could totally ask a friend if they have seen that color, and make sure you're taking the time to look carefully until you find the color you are looking for. So now that I've got my kind of plans ready to go, I'm gonna grab a white too for his eyes. I'm gonna go ahead and start to color. So you want to make sure when you're doing this today, you're pushing nice and hard. And I'm going to have Pip's ears be this kind of darker tan color. So I'm going to go ahead and color up and down. Now, when I'm doing this, my clay is just naturally a little bit bumpy. So that's okay, but I'm going to try my best to go kind of around in circles and kind of wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. I want to be in control of what I'm doing, because otherwise I could go off where I was and get it somewhere I don't want to. I also want to kind of turn my project, and I don't have to do the back, but it's a sculpture, so I want to remember sculptures have sides, so I need to think about different viewpoints that people might see my sculpture from. So I'm making sure I'm getting all of those places. Sometimes there will be a spot that maybe no matter how hard I try, I just can't get my pastel in there. That's okay. The paint will go in there, it will stick really, really nicely, and that will be fine. So I've got one ear done. When I want to do this bigger area, this guy can be a little bit trickier because you're kind of going around your ears, and I'm going in between my eyes. But try to get as much covered with pastel as you can. It's really hard to get really close to your ears, but do the best work that you can. And again, make sure you're putting plenty of pastel on here. Just like a regular resist, it won't work super well if you're not pushing hard. When you go to do eyes, if you have bumpy eyes like me, you're gonna wanna use white for the resist. I know you're not gonna be able to see it right now, but I'm gonna do white first, and then I'll do the darker brown color on the smaller dot of his eye. I can go ahead and color his nose pink if I want his nose to be pink. and I have to figure out what color I want his snout to be, but I think you guys get the picture. So come up with some ideas for what you want your puppy or kitty to look like. If you want to draw a smile on, you can definitely do so. It's really up to you how you want that animal to look. Next time I see you, we'll go ahead and we'll talk about adding some paint on top of this. We'll let your animal dry, and soon it'll be ready for us to go ahead and take home. I hope you guys have fun today. Be careful that you do not break your animal, and please make sure you are being responsible and cleaning up your pastels when you are finished today.